Hello students, welcome to E-pgp Pathshala. I am Anup Kumar Kapoor from Department of Anthropology, University of Delhi. Today we are going to discuss the module Nutritional Evolution from the paper Human Origin and Evolution. The learning objectives of the module are: first, to develop an understanding about dietary transition in course of human evolution. Second, to gain insight about evidences indicating nutritional evolution. The third, to understand the implications of nutritional evolution. Now we will first talk about the basics of human evolution. The study of diet and nutrition is one of the central and crucial themes in the discipline of human biology, as it exhibits a critical interface between cultural, biological, and environmental component. Nutritionally, food serves dual purpose for human beings. It provides energy for body processes and physical activity and helps to build the protein and mineral components of the body. These dual motives vary at individual level and also with age, activity, and environment. All human beings must include 5 major types of nutrients, that is, carbohydrates, lipids, mainly fats and oils, proteins, minerals, including trace elements, and vitamins, in their diet to maintain health and promote growth. These nutrients can be ramified into 6 principles categories, namely carbohydrates, fats, protein, vitamins, minerals, and water. The first 3 nutrients, that is carbohydrates, protein, and fats, are termed as macronutrients or proximate principles of food, as they are needed in relatively large amounts to provide energy to the body. Vitamins and minerals are termed as micronutrients or protective principles of food, as they are needed in much smaller amounts and govern several aspects of metabolism. Thus, each nutrient performs a distinctive role, but their body building and body maintaining functions intermingle in several aspects. Boggin listed and arranged 9 universal features of human food and nutrition systems in 3 broad domains, that is, biological, technological, and social, as shown in the table. Humans, along the course of evolution, developed the ability to subsist on the remarkable diversity of diets so as to sustain life, and this dietary plasticity evolved in part because of cultural and technological innovations for processing resources, and it allowed human populations to expand into newer and more marginal ecosystems. Further, Leonard and Ulrich in 2002 emphasized that nutritional dynamic between human and their environments, the relationship between the intake and expenditure of energy, has crucial adaptive consequences for both survival and reproduction. The pattern of human evolution is significantly influenced by the ecological variation in food availability. In general, humans follow omnivorous diet and have particular nutritional requirements that exhibit dietary adaptation characterized with a large amount of fruits and vegetable material. Omnivorous diet helps humans to select from the many available food resources in order to formulate a cuisine. With regards to nutrition pattern, humans differ from apes in the following aspects. First, farmers consume higher proportion of animal food than later. Unlike apes, humans lay major emphasis on starchy plant food. Third, humans prefer cooking and preparation tactics to reduce fibrous bulk of these foods and make them palatable. Shukla and Stogi opine that nutritional adaptation depends upon the availability of resources and also the mode and the degree of their utilization. Various selective pressures in the course of human evolution came into play, which led to development of crucial nutritional and physiological differences between human and other primates. Our primate ancestry has led to incorporation of omnivory and several essentially nutrients needed in the diet. The following section throws light upon the evolution of human nutritional pattern and implication of this nutrition evolution. Evolution in human nutritional pattern, that is dietary transition. The evolutionary history of hominins have been characterized by significant dietary changes, which include the introduction of meat eating, cooking, and the changes associated with the plant and animal domestication. Now the fig shows provide glimpses of major stages in relation to dietary transition that probably define human past. Timeline indicating major dietary shifts during evolution of hominin forms is displayed in the figure. The colored boxes reveals various shifts. Gray boxes approximate dates of existence for human and chimpanzee bonoboli in a genre. Orange boxes important dietary transition in hominin evolution which are supported by strong evidences. Blue boxes important dietary transition in hominin evolution which are supported by suggestive inference. Hladic emphasized that ancestral mammals were insectivorous and the invertebrates predation was the basis from which primate dietary pattern evolved. The dietary intake of our early tree-dwelling ancestors exhibited a resemblance to that of extant arboreal species. Frugivorous appear to be prominent dietary pattern among hominids in Miocene era. Their diet comprised of leaf, stalks, fruit twigs, and some plant roots. Although the ancestors of modern man possess the ability to digest animal protein, but they subsisted mainly on vegetarian diet. Consumption of animal protein after the descent from the trees and arboreal lifestyle, the ancestors of modern man adopted terrestrial lifestyle in which the hunting, gathering, scavenging niche helped them to exploit a wide array of nutrients, including both the vegetable and animal protein. The early hominin evolution favored selection for large molars, thick animal, and craniofacial robustity because there is evidence of exploitation of tough foods which led to rapid tooth wear. On the basis of recent chemical and microbial analysis and examination, it was opined that the Australopithecines may have exploited cereals, grasses, and sedges more than was previously speculated. The emergence of early Homo is associated with a reduction in mandibular size, robustity, animal thickness, and buttressing of mastication. These changes suggest a shift in food use patterns and/or food processing. It has been suggested that our ancestral dietary pattern incorporated higher amount of animal protein after the divergence of human and ape evolutionary lines. It has been established that Homo habilis started to develop stone tools about 2 million years ago, and the succeeding species, that is Homo erectus, started to consume large amount of animal protein in 1.8 to 16 million years ago. Afterwards, early humans consumed large amount of animal proteins, evidenced by large accumulation of animal remains at their living sites. Tools were efficient enough for game hunting, and their living sites were located in areas characterized by substantial biomass of land grazing animals. When we see fire and cooking As far as dietary transition is concerned, the control and later the making of fire was crucial innovation, and Homo erectus is credited with the discovery of fire. Bogin suggested that fire, which may have been used as early as 1.4 million years ago, was certainly controlled by 750,000 years ago, gave warmth, light, protection, and new technique to process foods. Controlled use of fire led to cooking. The control of fire had a direct and significant effect on the human dietary pattern by expanding the range of foods available. Cooking with the application of fire, either by roasting or boiling, enhances the nutrition benefit of several vegetable foods by disintegrating the cellulose component, which is indigestible by people. Fire can help to open large seeds and drive game towards a convenient killing site. Cooking, especially drying or smoking, helps to preserve foods for future storage purposes. Fire helps to burn vegetable to promote new growth, to attract grazing and browsing herbivores, and to improve the production of certain nuts and seeds, improve the efficiency of hunting and gathering. All of these uses of fire did not appear at the same time. Many uses of fire seems to be invention of Homo sapiens rather than ancestral species, that is Homo erectus. Gordon Inbar suggested that the oldest incontrovertible evidence for human-controlled fire dates to 800,000 years ago in Israel. It was emphasized that cooking food may have been part of hominin culture as early, less than 1.9 million years ago, based on the two-size reduction observed in Homo erectus that suggests a shift to the processing of softer foods. The increase in brain size was coincident with the decrease in gut size, and this exhibits an improvement in dietary quality, as reported by few scientists. But whether such a diet quality change was achieved with the help of cooking or simply by advancement in stone tool technology is a debatable issue. Neolithic revolution, the advent of agriculture and animal domestication. The Neolithic era witnessed the phenomenon of domestication of plants and animals. Luca and his team suggested that the origin and spread of agriculture and animal husbandry over the last 12,000 years, with the centers of domestication in Asia, Europe, South America, Africa, indicate the most recent crucial transition in human dietary pattern. The nutritional shift to agriculture can be expressed as threshold on the gradient of increasing interaction of humans with flora and faunal forms. This involved a steady increment in inputs of human energy into food production. The advent of agriculture in Neolithic period led to reduction in the diversity of foods, and the ancestral agriculture population relied upon a less varied range of flora and faunal forms in comparison to their hunter-gatherer predecessors. The transition from hunter-gatherer phase to agriculture phase resulted in a greater dependence on ancestral human population upon plant sources or primary producers, particularly seed, root, and tuber-bearing plants. The process of domestication favored the selection of plants with larger caloric yields, and as a result, the starch-rich food in the form of grains and legumes became the staple diet of ancestral human population at the time of agricultural revolution. Consequently, there was a greater carbohydrate intake in diet of early agricultural population compared with their hunter-gatherers predecessors. This further led to nutritional imbalance and to protein and vitamin deficiency diseases. The effects of nutritional imbalance and deficiencies are still manifest in their skeleton remains. The proportion of carbohydrates eventually increased their diet, not only because of increasing amount of starch-rich food being eaten, but also because the domestication process itself selected for plants with larger caloric yields. Thus, the human nutritional pattern was significantly altered by shift from hunter-gatherer stage to agriculture stage. This shift led to manifestation of prominent morphological consequences. The Paleo-Indians were big game hunters 10,000 years ago, but their descendants started to practice intensive food production, consumed little animal protein, and as a result, they were considerably shorter in stature. And the skeleton remains exhibit crucial evidence of poor nutrition state. This gave indication of direct effects of protein calorie deficiency and synergistic interaction between malnutrition and infection. But with the arrival of Industrial Revolution, the Western diet had started to incorporate adequate animal protein as exhibited by increased average height. This figure indicates the inferring prehistoric diet on the basis of the available evidences, the fossil and the archaeological record, as well as the evidences and implications linked with dietary transition. Hominid skeleton evidences, in particular teeth and archaeological sites, including yielding animal bones and stone tools, provide crucial evidence in relation to dietary pattern of ancestral population in course of human evolution. Now, this figure exhibits the timeline of the available fossils and archaeological evidence used to figure out prehistoric diet. The examination of dietary pattern of other primates and the analogy with the behavior of modern human hunter-gatherers also provides important information about the diet of early hominids. Examination of fossil jaw and teeth of extinct hominin forms can offer crucial insight into nutritional evolution. Analysis and examination of various facets of dental evidence such as the tooth shape, tooth size, animal shape, and dental microbia, along with the dental biomechanics, indicate that there has been a transition in the dietary pattern of Australopithecines, which has helped them survive in climatic variability. It was opined by several authorities that the Australopithecines possessed smaller incisors in compared to the mollusks. It was also speculated that this ratio could be due to terrestrial seed-eating habits. The Australopithecines were characterized by distinct megaton condition with large, thickly enameled cheek teeth and massive chewing musculature in relation to body size. The above statement emphasized that they relied upon heavily masticated diets which comprised of food that needed either strong crushing or long periods of sustained chewing. In contrast, early species of genus Homo possessed larger incisors and much smaller cheek teeth in comparison to robust Australopithecines, and later species Homo erectus and Homo sapiens continued to the trend of allometrically reduced post-canine dentition, and this indicated that genus Homo had turned to a diet of foods requiring less oral population than the foods of Australopithecines. It was indicated that genus Homo consumed food that was less fibrous or food that were prepared before ingestion by use of fire or other technology. The radiation tools discovered by archaeologists also provide crucial evidence related to dietary transition linked with the changing substance technology. The earliest evidence of tool use is linked with Homo habilis, and the later used simple but effective sharp-edged stone flakes as cutting tools for meat and plant foods. The diagnostic microbia, what we call is polish, preserved on the tool edges provided evidence for the use of above-mentioned tool type. The recent technological invention, that is after the emergence of modern Homo sapien, linked with the acquisition and processing of food include bows and arrows and spear throwers, stone sickles used to harvest cereals, grindstones frequently used to grind seeds, and storage and cooking devices such as pottery or ovens. As stated earlier, animal and plant fossil remains found in association with tools at archaeological sites also throw light upon prehistoric human diets. For instance, several bones of large ungulates discovered at the early archaeological sites in East Africa possesses cut marks which were inflicted on them by stone tools which were used to slice of meat. Coprolite, that is fossilized faces, analyzed into also provides crucial insights into human dietary transition, as former reveals something about what people ate and how the food was prepared, the use of condiments to add flavor to food, and the use of plants as medicine. The odor and the visual inspection of the reconstituted coprolites reveal crucial evidence of human food preparation. The Homo erectus site of Terra Amta, located on the French Mediterranean, yielded the oldest verified coprolites of a hominid species. The chemical analysis of stable isotopes and trace elements in skeletal remains can provide important clues about broad signature of foods consumed at the time. One widely devised method is the determination of the ratio of delta 15 nitrogen to delta 13 carbon. The amount of 13 cc reveals magnitude of plant-based foods in the diet, where the amount of 15 N indicates the magnitude of animal protein in the diet. The ratio of trace element strontium to calcium can also be employed in similar context, that is diet reconstruction, where a higher ratio represents that more plant food than animal food was consumed by the animal. It was observed that with time, SRCA ratios in bone increase, which indicated the dominance of plant food in the diet. But the increase presented itself 20,000 years after the modern human form appeared in the fossil record, and it seems that the morphological shift for archaic to modern humans form was not due to the utilization of new foods, but due to advancement in the technology for both acquiring and processing existing foods, and these improvements decreased human physical labor and resulted in a less muscular body and a more gracile skeleton. When you see the implication, the table is given below throws light upon evolutionary modification in human brain, that is size in cubic centimeters, estimated adult male and female body mass in kilograms, posterior tooth area square millimeters, data from Henry taken in 92-94, then Gabonia et al. 2000-2001 and other scientists. These modifications represent implications to dietary transition among hominin forms. You can see the table presents a variation in brain size, post-canine tooth surface areas, and estimated male and female body weights for certain prominent fossil hominin species in relation to geological time period, that is a million years ago. As emphasized by the table, over a time period between 4.0 and 1.5 million years ago, the Australopithecine exhibited only moderate evolution of brain size. But with the evolution of the genus Homo, there was substantial increment in brain size, with the average cranial capacities of Homo habilis being over 600 centimeter, or representative of Homo erectus being 850 to 1000. The modification in the cranial capacity and dental anatomy of Homo erectus indicate that these forms exhibited different dietary pattern than their Australopithecine ancestors. There was a dramatic increase in the total surface area of grinding teeth, that is of molars and premolars, in course of evolution of the Australopithecines from 460 micrometers if Australopithecus francis we take to 750 in Australopithecus boise. This indicates that Australopithecines consumed a heavily masticated diet. It was suggested that with the appearance of Homo erectus in East Africa at 1.8 million years ago, there was significant increment in brain and body size, a reduction of posterior tooth size and craniofacial robustity, the evolution of human-like limb proportion, significant changes in foraging substance. Now I will summarize what I have discussed till now. The diet and nutrition of an individual is shaped by cultural, biological, and environmental components. Nutrition evolution in relation to humans simply relates to dietary transition or variation at various evolutionary stages of man. At each stage of development, nutrition evolution represents interaction between man and his culture and environment accompanied with prominent morphological and anatomical consequences. Humans live in diverse environmental settings and utilize certain substance tactics which are linked with selective pressures on human metabolism and homeostasis. Prominent dietary changes in course of human evolution include the introduction of meat eating, discovery of fire, advent of cooking technique, and the changes associated with the plant and animal domestication. The diet of early tree-dwelling ancestors was comprised of leaf, stalks, fruit twigs, and some plant roots, as commonly observed among extant monkeys and rays. But after transition to terrestrial lifestyle from arboreal lifestyle, they started to inculcate animal protein along with this vegetable protein in their diet. Human ancestral forms then for a long time period were characterized by varied diet which combined proportions of fiber and starch-rich food, meats, nuts and fruits. This diverse diet was supported by innovation of cooking, strategy and control use of fire. But with the advent of agriculture and animal domestication and improvement in technology, humans began to incorporate less diverse or less balanced diet. Examination of hominin skeleton evidences, especially teeth and jaw remains, and archaeological sites yielding animal bones and stone tools provide crucial evidence which help to infer dietary pattern of ancestral population in course of human evolution. Thus, the comprehensive understanding of nutrition evolution can be achieved with study of fossil evidences and archaeological records along with the assessment of morphological consequences. Thank you very much.